My chosen one, pause for a moment, because what you are about to hear is not ordinary, and it is not meant for everyone. There are messages that pass through this world unnoticed, and then there are messages that shake the very foundation of your soul. This is one of them. At this very moment, beyond what your eyes can see, beyond what your ears can hear, something sacred has already taken place. In the courts of heaven, where truth cannot be hidden and destiny is spoken into motion, your name was whispered, yes, your name. This was not a coincidence. This was not imagination. Archangel Michael, the protector, the warrior of light, the one who stands in the presence of divine authority, spoke your name with intention. And when your name is spoken in heaven, it means something is shifting. It means something has already begun. You may not fully understand it yet, but deep inside, there is a stirring, a feeling you cannot explain, a pull that brought you here to hear these exact words. That is not random. That is alignment. There are countless souls on this earth, yet in that divine moment, attention turned toward you. Why you? Why now? Because something in your life has reached a critical point. You have walked through confusion, through silent battles, through moments where you questioned everything. And still, you kept going. Still, something within you refused to give up. Heaven has seen that. Heaven has recorded every tear, every prayer you thought went unheard, every time you chose to stand when it would have been easier to fall. And now, there is a response. But listen closer, because this is where it becomes urgent. When Archangel Michael whispers a name, it is never casual. It signals preparation. It signals movement. It signals that forces you cannot see are already being rearranged. Doors you thought were permanently closed are being touched. Situations that seemed stuck are being shifted. But here is the truth most people never realize. You must not ignore the moment when heaven calls your name. Something has been trying to get your attention. It may have come through repeated signs, through sudden thoughts, through an unexplainable sense that something is about to change. You may have brushed it off, telling yourself it is nothing. But it is not nothing. It is the echo of that whisper, reaching into your world, trying to wake you up before the moment passes. Because not every moment stays open forever. There is a timing to everything, and right now, you are standing at the edge of something powerful. This is not fear speaking to you. This is awareness. This is the moment where you either lean in and receive what is being prepared for you, or you turn away and let it pass by unnoticed. Archangel Michael does not speak without purpose. If your name was spoken, it means you are being called into something greater than where you are right now. It means there is more ahead of you than what you have settled for. It means the story you thought was ending is actually about to begin in a way you never expected. So do not scroll past this. Do not dismiss this as just another message. You were guided here for a reason. And as you listen right now, something within you is already responding. The question is, will you listen? Tell me to continue, and I will take you deeper into what heaven is preparing for you. Beloved soul, there was a moment, silent, sacred, and unseen by human eyes, when heaven turned its full attention toward you. Not because of noise, not because of perfection, but because of something far deeper that lives within you. While the world kept moving as usual, while people passed by unaware, your life reached a point where the spiritual realm could no longer remain still. And in that moment, Archangel Michael stood as a witness to your journey, your pain, your endurance, and spoke your name with purpose. You may wonder what you did to deserve such attention. The truth is, it is not about what you did in one single moment. It is about everything you carried when no one was watching. It is about the nights when your heart felt heavy, yet you kept faith alive in the smallest way you could. It is about the silent prayers that never formed into words but were felt deeply within your spirit. Those moments did not go unnoticed. They were seen, recorded, and honored. Heaven does not respond to appearances. It responds to truth. And something in your truth called out so strongly that it reached beyond this world. That is why you have been feeling different lately. There has been a shift in your thoughts, a strange awareness, a sense that something is changing even if you cannot explain how or why. These are not coincidences. These are signals. These are the early signs that your life is aligning with something greater. Think back to the recent days. Have you felt moments of restlessness, as if where you are is no longer where you are meant to stay? Have you noticed certain situations becoming uncomfortable, even though they once felt normal? The discomfort is not meant to harm you. It is meant to move you. It is the gentle but persistent push from the divine, urging you to step into a new season. When Archangel Michael speaks a name, it often comes at the edge of transformation. It is the point where the old begins to lose its hold, and the new has not yet fully arrived. This space can feel confusing. You may feel caught between what was and what will be. But understand this clearly. This in-between space is sacred. It is where preparation happens. It is where unseen hands begin to rearrange your path. There are forces working in your favor right now, even if you cannot see them. Conversations are shifting. Opportunities are quietly forming. Barriers that once stood firm are beginning to weaken. And while all of this unfolds beyond your sight, you are being prepared internally to receive what is coming. That is why your awareness is increasing. That is why you feel more sensitive to certain energies, more aware of what feels right and what feels wrong. Do not ignore this awareness. It is your guide. At the same time, you may also notice resistance. Doubts may appear stronger than before. Old fears may try to resurface. This is not a sign that you are moving in the wrong direction. It is a sign that something valuable is ahead. Whenever a breakthrough is near, there is often a tension that builds, the pressure that tries to make you turn back. But you must understand, this is part of the process. It is not meant to stop you. It is meant to reveal your strength. You are not the same person you were before. Even if your surroundings look unchanged, something within you has already begun to transform. You are seeing differently, feeling differently, and questioning things you once accepted without hesitation. This is awakening. This is growth. This is the unfolding of a deeper purpose. And here is what you must hold on to. You were not chosen randomly. There is a reason heaven turned its eyes toward you at this exact moment in your life. There is something ahead that requires your attention, your courage, and your willingness to listen. The whisper of your name was only the beginning. It was a call that signaled everything else to begin moving. Now, the question is not whether something is happening. It is already happening. The real question is whether you will recognize it, whether you will trust it, and whether you will move with it when the moment comes. Because what is unfolding next will reveal why your name could not remain silent in heaven. Listen carefully, because what you are about to understand may explain everything you have been feeling lately. There is a battle happening around your life that you cannot see with your physical eyes. It is not the kind of battle fought with noise and chaos in the visible world, but it is just as real, if not more powerful. This is a spiritual conflict, and at the center of it is your destiny. From the moment your name was spoken in heaven by Archangel Michael, movement began, not only in your favor, but also in opposition. Because whenever something significant is being prepared for you, resistance rises. This is why certain things in your life have felt heavier than usual. Situations that once seemed manageable now feel overwhelming. People around you may have started acting differently, without any clear reason. You may have even questioned yourself, wondering why everything feels so intense all of a sudden. This is not random. There are forces that do not want you to step into what has been prepared for you. They cannot take what is meant for you, but they can try to distract you, delay you, and fill your mind with doubt. They work quietly, planting small seeds of fear, whispering that you are not ready, that you are not worthy, that nothing is really changing. And if you are not aware, those whispers can begin to sound like your own thoughts. But here is the truth. You are not alone in this battle. At the very moment opposition began to rise, protection was already in place. Archangel Michael did not just speak your name and step away. He stands as a defender, a guardian over the path that is unfolding before you. There are battles being fought on your behalf that you will never fully see. There are things being blocked, redirected, and removed that could have harmed your progress. What feels like delay is often protection. What feels like confusion is often the clearing of something that no longer belongs in your life. This is why your discernment is becoming sharper. You are starting to feel when something is not right, even if you cannot explain it. You are noticing patterns, sensing energy, becoming aware of what lifts you and what drains you. This is not coincidence. This is preparation. Because where you are going, you cannot afford to move blindly. And yet, the battle intensifies when you get closer to your breakthrough. Have you noticed how the pressure seems to increase just when you are about to move forward? How doubt suddenly becomes louder when you begin to believe in yourself again? That is not a sign to stop. That is a sign that you are approaching something significant. Resistance does not grow where nothing matters. It grows where something valuable is about to be claimed. You must not mistake this resistance for failure. This is the moment where many turn back. This is the moment where people begin to question the very path they were called to walk. They see the difficulty and assume it means they are going the wrong way. But in truth, the difficulty is revealing the importance of what lies ahead. And if you can stand firm now, if you can remain aware and grounded, you will move through this phase stronger than you have ever been before. There is something else you need to understand. Not every battle is meant to be fought with force. Some battles are won through stillness, through clarity, through choosing not to engage with what is trying to pull you down. You are being guided to rise above certain situations, to stop reacting in ways that drain your energy. This is how you protect your peace. This is how you stay aligned with what is being prepared for you. Because your energy matters now more than ever. The whisper of your name was not just a call. It was a declaration. And declarations in the spiritual realm carry power. They set things into motion. They mark the beginning of a shift that cannot easily be reversed. That is why everything feels heightened. That is why you feel both the weight of the battle and the pull of something greater at the same time. So do not be afraid of what you are feeling. Do not let the intensity convince you that something is wrong. Instead, recognize it for what it is, a sign that your life is moving into a new alignment. You are closer than you think. And as this battle unfolds, remember this. You are being protected, guided, and strengthened in ways you cannot yet fully understand. Stand firm. Stay aware. And do not let anything distract you from what is being prepared for you right now. Type "I stand in divine protection" in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 5591 is now activated. As this spiritual battle is being revealed, this is also a sacred moment of alignment for those who feel called to go deeper. When you sow into this message, you are not giving to a channel. You are becoming part of a divine flow that carries light to souls who are still searching. The word says, "Give, and it shall be given unto you." And right now, that promise is alive and speaking directly to you. If you feel it in your heart, say within yourself, "I am answering the call to help this message reach those who need it." Your support through Super Thanks or PayPal becomes a seed that multiplies into transformed lives, open hearts, and awakened spirits. The links are waiting for you in the description, and even a simple act of giving becomes a prophetic step into your own breakthrough. As you give, may doors open, may protection increase, and may unexpected blessings find their way to you. Act now, because obedience in this moment carries power. There is a reason your name did not remain silent. There is a reason it rose beyond the noise of the world and reached the sacred halls of heaven. This was not chance, and it was not a simple passing mention. When your name echoed, it carried weight. It carried history. It carried purpose. And now, you are being invited to understand why. From the beginning, your life has never been ordinary. Even when things seemed quiet, even when you felt unnoticed, there was always something different about your path. You have felt it in subtle ways, a sense that you were meant for more, a feeling that your life held a deeper meaning beyond what others could see. At times, you may have ignored it, thinking it was just your imagination. But it was never imagination. It was a quiet knowing placed within you long before you understood it. When Archangel Michael spoke your name, it was in recognition of that deeper calling. It was not about where you are right now, it was about who you are becoming. Heaven does not focus only on your present condition. It sees your full potential, your future alignment, and the impact your life can have when you fully step into your purpose. And this is what makes this moment so important. You have been through experiences that shaped you in ways others may not understand. Challenges that tested your strength. Situations that forced you to grow, even when you did not feel ready. There were times when you wondered why things had to be so difficult, why your journey felt heavier than those around you. But those moments were not without meaning. They were preparation. They were building something within you that cannot be easily shaken. Because the truth is, not everyone is given the same assignment. Some are called to live quietly, following paths that require little resistance. But others, like you, are called to walk a path that demands awareness, strength, and trust. A path where your choices matter deeply, where your actions ripple beyond what you can immediately see. And when such a path begins to unfold, heaven takes notice. That is why your name echoed. It echoed because you reached a point where your life is ready to shift from preparation into activation. It echoed because something within you is ready to awaken fully, to move beyond hesitation and into clarity. You may still feel uncertain, still questioning what exactly lies ahead, but that does not change the truth of what is happening. The call has already been made, and with that call comes responsibility. You are being asked to pay attention in ways you may not have before, to listen not just with your ears, but with your spirit, to notice what feels aligned and what does not, to trust the subtle guidance that leads you, even when it does not make immediate sense. This is how you begin to walk in alignment with what has been spoken over your life. There will be moments where doubt tries to return, moments where you question whether you truly heard this call, whether you are truly meant for something greater. That is natural. Growth always brings uncertainty, but you must not let that uncertainty pull you away from what you already feel deep inside, because something else is happening alongside this. As your awareness increases, so does your sensitivity to truth. You begin to see through things more clearly. Situations that once confused you now reveal their patterns. People who once influenced you strongly may begin to lose that hold. This is not loss, it is clarity. It is the natural result of stepping into a higher level of understanding. And this clarity is part of your calling. You are not only being guided for your own life, but also to become a light for others. Not necessarily in loud or obvious ways, but through your presence, your decisions, and the way you carry yourself. There is something in your energy that will begin to shift, and others will notice it, even if they cannot explain why. This is how purpose unfolds. Not all at once, not in a single dramatic moment, but in a series of realizations, choices, and alignments that gradually bring you closer to who you are meant to be. And right now, you are standing at one of those key moments. The echo of your name with the signal that your life is no longer meant to remain where it has been. The signal that something greater is now within reach. The signal that heaven has acknowledged your readiness to move forward. So do not ignore what you are feeling. Do not dismiss the quiet pull guiding you toward change. Because the reason your name was spoken is now beginning to reveal itself, step by step, in ways that will soon become impossible to deny. There is something you must hear now, and it cannot be softened or delayed. When your name was spoken in heaven, it was not only a call of recognition, it also carried a warning. Not a warning meant to frighten you, but one meant to awaken you. Because there are moments in life where what you choose next determines how the entire path unfolds. And you are standing in one of those moments right now. You may have already sensed it. That quiet inner voice telling you something is not right. That feeling that certain situations, habits, or even people are no longer aligned with where you are meant to go. At first, it may have been easy to ignore. You told yourself it would pass, that things would go back to normal. But the feeling did not leave. Instead, it grew stronger, more persistent, harder to silence. This is not discomfort without purpose. This is guidance. When Archangel Michael speaks a name, it often marks the beginning of separation. The separation between what belongs in your future and what must remain in your past. And this is where the warning becomes clear. If you hold on to what you are meant to release, you delay what is trying to reach you. There are patterns in your life that cannot follow you into the next season. Patterns of thinking that limit you. Patterns of behavior that drain your energy. Even environments that once felt familiar but now feel heavy. These things are not being exposed to punish you. They are being revealed so you can choose differently. But here is where many people struggle. They recognize the signs. They feel the truth, but they hesitate to act. They stay in situations out of comfort, out of fear, or out of uncertainty. They tell themselves they need more time, more clarity, more confirmation. And while they wait, the moment begins to pass. Not because what is meant for them is gone, but because they are not stepping forward to meet it. You must not let that be your story. The warning is simple, but it carries weight. Do not ignore what you already know. There is something in your life right now that you have been avoiding. A decision you have delayed. A truth you have felt but have not fully accepted. You may not want to face it, because facing it requires change. And change is uncomfortable. It asks you to step away from what is known and into what is uncertain. But understand this, what feels uncertain now is actually the path to your clarity. And what feels comfortable may be the very thing holding you back. This is why urgency matters. Not urgency driven by fear, but urgency driven by awareness. You are being shown what needs to shift so that you can align with what is already being prepared for you. And the longer you resist that shift, the more tension you will feel. the more stuck things will seem. Not because you are meant to struggle, but because you are being called to move. There is also something else you must be aware of. Not every voice around you will support this change. Some people may not understand why you feel different. They may encourage you to stay the same, to remain where you are comfortable. Not out of harm, but because they are not on the same path. And if you are not careful, their voices can become louder than your inner guidance. This is why you must stay grounded in what you feel is true. You do not need everyone to understand your journey. You only need to recognize when something is no longer aligned. And when you recognize it, you must be willing to act, even if it feels difficult at first. Because on the other side of that decision is movement. Movement toward clarity. Movement toward peace. Movement toward the opportunities that are already forming around you. But those opportunities cannot fully enter your life if there is no space for them. You must create that space through your choices. This is the warning, and it is also the invitation. You are not being forced into anything. You are being shown the truth so that you can choose it freely. You are being guided, not pushed. But guidance only works when it is followed. So take a moment now. Reflect honestly. What have you been feeling? What have you been avoiding? What do you already know needs to change? Do not rush your answer, but do not ignore it either. Because this moment matters more than you realize. And what you choose now will determine how quickly everything that has been set in motion begins to unfold in your life. There is something ahead of you that you cannot yet fully see, but you can feel it. It is subtle, like a shift in the air before a storm, like a quiet change that only your spirit can recognize. While you have been navigating confusion, while you have been questioning and waiting, something has been forming just beyond your current view. And now, that something is closer than ever. It is the door that is about to open. This is not just any opportunity. This is not something ordinary that comes and goes without meaning. This is a moment that has been prepared with intention, aligned with the very whisper that spoke your name. When Archangel Michael acknowledged you, it set into motion a sequence of events that lead directly to this opening. But here is what you must understand. Divine doors do not always appear the way you expect. You may be looking for something obvious, something dramatic, something that clearly announces itself as your breakthrough. But often, these doors arrive quietly. They come as a conversation, a new idea, a sudden change in direction, or even a disruption that forces you to move differently. At first, it may not even look like an opportunity. It may look like inconvenience, like uncertainty, like something you did not plan for. This is why awareness is everything. If you are not paying attention, you may overlook the very thing that was prepared for you. You may dismiss it because it does not match your expectations. You may hesitate because it feels unfamiliar. But what you must remember is this: what is meant for your next level will not always look like what you have known before. It will stretch you. It will challenge your comfort. It will ask you to trust in ways you have not trusted before. And this is where many people step back instead of stepping forward. They feel the pull, they sense the possibility, but they also feel fear. The fear of making the wrong choice. Fear of stepping into something unknown. Fear of leaving behind what is familiar. And in that moment, they pause too long. They hesitate until the door is no longer as easy to enter. You are being prepared not to hesitate. Everything you have been feeling, the restlessness, the awareness, the discomfort, has been aligning you for this moment. It has been loosening your attachment to what is behind you so that you can move toward what is ahead. It has been strengthening your ability to recognize what feels right, even when it does not make logical sense. Because this door will require trust. Trust not just in what you see, but in what you feel. Trust that the path is being guided, even if you cannot see the full picture yet. Trust that you are ready, even if a part of you still doubts. And understand this clearly: this door is not random. It is connected to your purpose. It is connected to the reason your name was spoken. It is part of a larger unfolding that is meant to bring you into alignment with something greater than where you are now. But there is also timing involved. Doors open for a reason, and they open within a window of opportunity. That window does not stay open forever. It is not meant to pressure you, but it is meant to remind you that action matters. Recognition alone is not enough. You must be willing to move when the moment arrives. This is why you must stay present. Do not become so focused on the past that you miss what is forming in front of you. Do not become so consumed by doubt that you overlook what feels right. Stay aware of your surroundings, your thoughts, your instincts, because the door will reveal itself in a way that speaks directly to you. And when it does, you will know. There will be a clarity that cuts through the noise, a sense of alignment that feels different from anything else. Even if it is small, even if it seems simple, there will be something about it that resonates deeply within you. That is your signal. That is your moment to move. And as you step toward it, understand that you are not stepping alone. Archangel Michael remains present, guiding, protecting, and ensuring that what is meant for you aligns in the right way. You are not being led into confusion. You are being led into purpose. So be ready. The door is closer than you think, and when it opens, your willingness to walk through it will change everything. There is a moment that comes just before everything changes, and it is often the most misunderstood part of the journey. It is not the breakthrough itself, and it is not the beginning of the struggle. It is the space in between, the final test. And if you are feeling the weight of something right now, if you sense pressure building without clear answers, then you are standing in that exact space. This test does not arrive to stop you. It arrives to reveal you. Up until now, you have been guided, prepared, and made aware of what is shifting in your life. You have felt the call, recognized the signs, and even begun to understand what needs to change. But before the door fully opens, before the breakthrough becomes visible, there is a moment where everything you have learned is put into motion. Not in theory, not in thought, but in action. This is where many hesitate, because the test does not always look like an opportunity. Sometimes it looks like doubt returning at full force. Sometimes it looks like a situation that challenges your patience. Sometimes it looks like being pulled back towards something you already know you must leave behind. It can even feel like nothing is happening at all, like everything has gone quiet just when you expected movement. But that silence is part of the test. When Archangel Michael stands watch over your path, it does not mean you are removed from difficulty. It means you are supported through it. And this moment is designed to strengthen your alignment. It is asking you one question: will you trust what you have been shown, even when it is not easy? Because trust is not proven when everything feels clear. Trust is proven when clarity fades, and you must rely on what you already know deep within. You may feel the urge to go back to what is familiar, to return to old patterns because they feel safe, to delay decisions because uncertainty feels uncomfortable. But this is where your awareness becomes your strength. You are no longer the person who moves blindly. You are no longer the person who ignores what feels wrong. You have been prepared for this moment, and now you are being asked to stand in that preparation. There is also something deeper happening here. This test is not only about your choices, it is about your identity. is about stepping fully into the version of yourself that is ready for what is coming. Because the breakthrough you are approaching requires a different level of clarity, a different level of discipline, and a different level of belief in yourself. And that version of you is already forming. But it must be confirmed through your actions. Every decision you make right now is shaping that identity. When you choose alignment over comfort, you strengthen it. When you choose truth over fear, you reinforce it. When you choose to move forward instead of staying stuck, you become it. This is why the test feels intense. It is not meant to overwhelm you. It is meant to refine you. You may not see the results immediately. You may not feel the breakthrough right away. But something is happening beneath the surface. Every moment you stay aligned, every time you resist what tries to pull you back, you are moving closer to that door opening fully. And here is what you must remember when the pressure feels strongest. The closer you are to the breakthrough, the more convincing the test may seem. It may try to make you believe that nothing is changing. It may try to make you feel like giving up is easier. It may even try to distract you with things that seem urgent but are not important. But you must stay focused, because this moment will pass, and what comes after it will make everything clear. You will look back and realize that this was the point where everything could have shifted in either direction. The point where your decision mattered more than ever, and the point where you chose to move forward, even when it was difficult. That choice is what unlocks the breakthrough. So do not fear this test. Do not resist it. Stand in it with awareness, with strength, and with trust in what you have already been shown. You are not being led into confusion. You are being led through transformation. And as you hold your ground, as you remain aligned with what feels true, understand that you are not alone in this moment. Archangel Michael is present, not removing the test, but ensuring that it does not break you. Because it is not here to break you. It is here to prove that you are ready. And once that is proven, nothing will be able to hold back what is about to unfold in your life. There comes a moment when everything begins to make sense, not all at once, not in a loud and overwhelming way, but in a quiet, undeniable clarity that settles deep within you. After the test, after the pressure, after the uncertainty, a signal arrives. And this is the moment you have been waiting for, even if you did not realize it. This signal does not always come as a voice you can hear or a sign you can easily explain to others. It comes as a deep inner knowing, a calm certainty that replaces confusion, a sense of direction that feels different from anything you have experienced before. Where there was once hesitation, there is now a quiet confidence. Where there was once doubt, there is now understanding. This is how you will recognize it. You will begin to notice that the things which once drained you no longer have the same effect. Situations that used to confuse you now appear clear. Decisions that once felt heavy now feel simple. It is as if something within you has shifted into alignment, and suddenly, the path ahead does not feel as uncertain as it once did. This is not coincidence. This is the confirmation that you have moved through the test, that you did not allow doubt to control you, that you stayed present, aware, and aligned even when it was difficult. And now, because of that, the next step is being revealed to you. When Archangel Michael stands in your path during this moment, it is not to warn you, it is to guide you forward. The resistance that once surrounded you begins to weaken. The tension that once held you back begins to release. And in its place, there is movement. You may notice opportunities appearing in unexpected ways. Conversations that open new directions. Ideas that feel inspired rather than forced. Even small moments that seem ordinary on the surface but carry a deeper sense of purpose. These are not random events. They are signals. each one pointing you toward the path that has been prepared. But here is what you must understand. The signal requires response. It is not enough to recognize it. You must be willing to act on it. Because this is where many people pause again. They feel the clarity, they sense the direction, but they hesitate to move. They wait for more confirmation, more certainty, more guarantees. But the truth is, this signal is the confirmation. It is the moment where you are being invited to trust what you feel and take the next step. You do not need to see the entire path. You only need to follow the direction you have been given. And as you do, something powerful begins to unfold. Boom. The same way resistance built before, now alignment begins to build. Each step you take creates another opening. Each decision you make brings more clarity. It is no longer about waiting. It is about moving with what is already in motion. This is why the signal feels different from anything before. It does not push you with pressure. It draws you forward with peace. Even if there is still some uncertainty, there is also a sense that you are exactly where you need to be, that you are finally moving in the right direction. And that feeling is your confirmation. Do not ignore it. Do not overthink it. Do not let fear return and convince you to stay still, because this moment is what everything has been leading to. You have been called. You have been tested. You have been prepared. And now, you are being shown the way forward. This is not the time to question yourself. It is the time to trust what you have become. And as you step forward, remember this. You are not creating this path alone. Archangel Michael continues to stand with you, ensuring that what is aligned with your purpose unfolds in the right way, at the right time. To move with confidence, move with awareness, move with trust, because the signal you have been waiting for has already arrived. Type "I follow the divine signal" in the comments if you receive this message. Lesson code 8842 is now activated. As this divine signal becomes clear in your life, this is also a sacred opportunity to become a vessel for that same clarity to reach others. When you act in faith, you do not walk alone. You open pathways for countless souls still waiting in confusion. The word is alive, declaring, "Those who sow in faith shall reap in abundance." And right now, that promise is speaking directly to your spirit. If you feel the stirring within you, say it boldly. I am part of this divine movement. Your support through Super Thanks or PayPal is not just a gift. It is a seed that releases light, truth, and awakening into lives across the world. The PayPal link rests in the description, and the QR code is placed before you as a gateway to act in obedience. As you give, may your path be illuminated further, may your blessings multiply, and may your life overflow with divine alignment. Step into this moment, because what you release now will return to you in ways you cannot yet imagine. Something has already begun within you, even if you have not fully put it into words yet. It is not something loud or obvious to the outside world, but inside there is a shift. A quiet transformation that is changing the way you think, the way you feel, and the way you see everything around you. This is not something that will happen in the future. It is happening now. You may have noticed it in small ways at first. The way certain things no longer excite you the way they used to. The way you find yourself pulling back from conversations or environments that once felt normal. The way your thoughts have become deeper, more reflective, more aware. These are not random changes. These are signs that you are evolving. When Archangel Michael spoke your name, it did not just initiate external movement. It activated something internal. Because before your outer world can fully change, your inner world must align with what is coming. and that alignment is exactly what you are experiencing now. This transformation is not always comfortable. In fact, it can feel confusing at times. You may feel like you no longer fully belong in the spaces you once occupied. You may feel disconnected from people who once understood you. You may even feel like you are in between two versions of yourself, no longer who you were, but not yet fully who you are becoming. That in-between feeling is part of the process. It is where the old identity begins to fade, and the new identity begins to take shape. It is where clarity replaces confusion, even if it happens gradually. And it is where you begin to understand that growth often requires letting go. There are parts of your past that cannot follow you into this next phase. Not because they were wrong, but because they no longer match who you are becoming. And as you continue to change, you will naturally begin to release those parts. Sometimes gently, sometimes more suddenly, but always with purpose. This is why your awareness has increased so much. You are noticing things you once overlooked. You are feeling energies you once ignored. You are becoming more selective about where you place your time and your attention. This is not distance, it is discernment. It is the ability to recognize what aligns with your growth and what does not. And this discernment is protecting you. Because as your life begins to shift externally, you will need that clarity to navigate what comes next. You will need to trust your instincts, to listen to your inner guidance, and to move in ways that support your transformation rather than resist it. There is also something else happening beneath the surface. Strength is building within you. Not the kind of strength that comes from force or resistance, but the kind that comes from understanding. The kind that allows you to remain calm in situations that once overwhelmed you. The kind that gives you the ability to step back, observe, and respond with intention instead of reaction. This strength is part of your transformation. It is preparing you for the opportunities, the challenges, and the responsibilities that are ahead. Because what is coming next will require a different version of you, a version that is grounded, aware, and aligned with purpose. And that version is already forming. You do not need to write it. You do not need to force it. All you need to do is continue to stay aware of what you are feeling and trust that it is leading you in the right direction. Growth does not happen all at once. It unfolds step by step, moment by moment, choice by choice. But make no mistake, this is real change. You are not imagining it. You are not overthinking it. You are becoming someone new. And as this transformation continues, you will begin to see its effects more clearly in your outer world. Intuition will shift. Opportunities will align. Paths that once seemed closed will begin to open. Not because of chance, but because you are now in alignment with them. This is how everything begins to come together, from the inside out. And as you move forward, remember this. You are not losing anything that truly belongs to you. You are only releasing what no longer fits so that you can fully receive what does. So brace this transformation. Even if it feels unfamiliar. Even if it feels uncertain at times. Because what is happening within you right now is the foundation for everything that is about to unfold in your life. There is a shift happening around you that may feel unexpected, even uncomfortable at times. It is not just internal anymore. It is beginning to reflect in your outer world. People, situations, and energies that once felt permanent are starting to change. Some are fading quietly. Others are being removed more suddenly. And while this may feel confusing or even painful, you must understand this clearly. This is not loss without purpose. This is protection in motion. When Archangel Michael spoke your name, it set into motion not only what needs to come into your life, but also what must leave. because what is ahead of you cannot fully arrive if your space is still occupied by what no longer aligns. There must be room for the new. There must be clarity in your environment. And sometimes, that clarity comes through separation. You may have already noticed it. Certain connections no longer feel the same. Conversations feel forced where they once flowed naturally. You may find yourself pulling back without fully understanding why, or you may notice others distancing themselves from you, as if something invisible has shifted between you. This is not something to fear, it is something to recognize. Not everyone is meant to walk with you into your next chapter. Some people were part of your life for a specific season. They played a role in your growth, your learning, your experiences. But that role does not always continue forever. And when your path begins to change, those connections may no longer fit the direction you are moving toward. This does not make them wrong, and it does not make you wrong. It simply means that alignment has changed. But this is where it can become difficult. Because even when you feel the shift, there may be a part of you that wants to hold on. A part that remembers what was, that values the familiarity, that fears the space that comes with letting go. You may question whether you are making the right choice. You may wonder if you are being too distant, too different, too changed. But listen carefully. You are not becoming distant. You are becoming aligned. And alignment requires honesty. It requires you to acknowledge when something no longer feels right, even if it once did. It requires you to trust that the changes you are experiencing are not random, but guided. And it requires you to let go, even when it is not easy. Because holding on to what no longer aligns creates resistance. It creates confusion. It drains your energy. It keeps you connected to a version of yourself that you are no longer meant to be. And while you remain in that space, it becomes harder to fully step into what is waiting for you. This is why removal is necessary. It clears your path. It protects your energy. It allows you to move forward without unnecessary weight. There is also something else happening that you may not immediately see. As certain people and energies leave your life, you are also being guided toward new connections. People who align with your growth. People who understand the direction you are moving in. People who support the version of you that is emerging. But these connections cannot fully appear until space is created. You cannot hold on to what is leaving and expect to fully receive what is coming. There must be a release before there is an arrival. And that release is what you are experiencing now. You may also notice changes in your environment beyond people. Certain routines, habits, or even interests may begin to shift. Things that once felt important may no longer hold the same value. This is part of the same process. Your life is reorganizing itself to match your new level of awareness. And while this can feel unsettling, it is also a sign of progress. You are not being left behind. You are being moved forward. Every removal, every shift, every moment of separation is creating a clear path for you to walk. It is ensuring that when the next phase fully unfolds, you are not carrying anything that could hold you back. So do not resist what is leaving. Do not chase what is trying to go. Do not force connections or situations to remain the same when you already feel the change. Instead, allow it. Trust that what is being removed is making space for something better aligned with who you are becoming. Trust that you are not losing what is meant for you. And trust that as this process continues, you will begin to see exactly why these changes were necessary. Because soon, what is entering your life will make it all make sense. And when that happens, you will realize that every release was not a loss but a step toward something greater than you could have imagined. There comes a moment when everything you have gone through, every shift, every test, every release, begins to point in one clear direction. It is no longer just about change. It is no longer just about awareness. It becomes about purpose. And right now, you are being brought to that moment, the moment where you begin to step into your divine assignment. This is not something outside of you. It is something that has been forming within you all along. Every experience you have faced has been shaping you for this. Every challenge has been building a strength you did not know you would need. Every moment of confusion has been sharpening your ability to seek truth. And now, those pieces are coming together. Not perfectly, not all at once, but clearly enough for you to recognize that your life is not SL. It is intentional. When Archangel Michael spoke your name, it was not just to guide you through change. It was to lead you toward this exact point, where you begin to understand that you are meant to do more than simply exist within your circumstances. You are meant to act with awareness, to move with purpose, to become someone who not only transforms their own life but influences the space around them. This does not mean something overwhelming or impossible. Your assignment may not look like what you expect. It may not be loud or visible to everyone. It may begin in small, simple ways, through your choices, your mindset, your actions in everyday situations. But do not underestimate the power of those moments, because purpose is not always found in grand gestures. It is found in alignment. It is found in choosing truth over comfort. It is found in showing up differently, even when no one is watching. It is found in becoming consistent with the version of yourself that you have been growing into. This is where your role begins to take shape. You are being called to live with intention. You stop moving on autopilot, to become aware of how you spend your time, your energy, your attention. Because everything you do now carries more weight. Everything you choose either aligns you further with your purpose or pulls you away from it. And this is why clarity matters so much in this moment. You no longer have to guess what feels right. You have already developed the awareness to recognize it. You can feel when something aligns and when it does not. You can sense when a decision supports your growth and when it limits you. That awareness is your guide into your assignment. But stepping into it requires action. It requires you to move beyond thinking and into doing. To take what you have learned and apply it. To trust that even small steps are leading somewhere meaningful. Because purpose does not unfold all at once. It reveals itself as you walk forward. There may still be moments of doubt. Moments where you question whether you are doing enough, whether you are moving fast enough, whether you are truly on the right path. But those questions are part of the process. They do not mean you are lost. They mean you are becoming more aware of the importance of your choices. And awareness leads to growth. You are no longer waiting for something to happen to you. You are becoming someone who responds to what is already happening. Someone who recognizes opportunity and moves with it. Someone who understands that your life is not it is being guided. There is also a deeper layer to this. As you step into your assignment, you begin to influence others without even trying. Your clarity becomes visible. Your calmness in situations where others feel overwhelmed begins to stand out. Your ability to make aligned decisions begins to inspire those around you. Not because you are trying to lead, but because you are living differently. And that is where your impact begins. You do not need to force anything. You do not need to prove anything. All you need to do is continue to align with what you know is true. To continue choosing growth over comfort. To continue trusting that each step forward is part of something greater. Because it is. And as you move deeper into this phase, you will begin to feel a sense of direction that was not there before. a sense that you are no longer drifting, no longer uncertain, but moving with intention. That feeling is not temporary. It is the result of stepping into your purpose. So do not hold back now. Do not shrink yourself to fit into what you have already outgrown. Do not hesitate when you already feel the direction within you, because this is your moment to step forward. And as you do, remember this: you are not stepping into something unknown. You are stepping into something that hath been prepared for you all along, guided, protected, and aligned with everything you have been through. And now is the time to walk in it. My beloved soul, as you stand here now, having walked through every realization, every shift, every moment of awakening, something within you has become still. Not empty, not uncertain, would come. This calm is not sluchikaki. This is the peace that comes when you begin to align with what was always meant for you. You have felt the call. You have recognized the signs. You have faced the resistance, the tests, the changes, and the letting go. And now, you are no longer the same person who first heard this message. Something has changed within you. Something has settled into place. And that is exactly where peace begins. This kind of peace is different from what the world offers. It does not depend on everything being perfect. It does not require every answer to be clear. It comes from knowing, deep within, that you are moving in the right direction. That even if everything is not fully visible yet, you are no longer lost. That is what obedience creates. Not control, not pressure, but alignment. When Archangel Michael whispered your name, it was not just to awaken you. It was to guide you into this very state. A place where fear begins to lose its hold. A place where doubt no longer controls your decisions. A place where you can move forward without constantly looking back. And now, you are here. You may still have questions. You may still wonder how everything will unfold. But those questions no longer carry the same weight, because something stronger has taken their place. Trust. Trust in the path. Trust in the timing. Trust in yourself. This is the reward of everything you have walked through. Not just what is coming next, but who you have become along the way. Stronger. Clearer. More aware. More aligned. You are no longer waiting for your life to change. You are actively living in that change. And as you continue forward, something beautiful begins to happen. The same situations that once overwhelmed you will no longer affect you in the same way. The same doubts that once stopped you will no longer have the same power. The same fears that once held you back will begin to fade. Not because they disappear completely, but because you have grown beyond them. That is true transformation. And it brings peace. Not a temporary calm, but a steady, grounded sense of knowing that you are exactly where you need to be. But nothing is sluchikaki. That everything has led you to this point for a reason. So take a moment now. Breathe in this awareness. Feel the stillness within you. Recognize how far you have come, not just in your circumstances, but in your understanding, your strength, your ability to trust. Because this is only the beginning. What lies ahead will continue to unfold in ways that match this new version of you. Opportunities, connections, and experiences that align with your growth will begin to appear more clearly. And as they do, you will no longer hesitate the way you once did. You will move with confidence, with clarity, with peace, because you now understand something that cannot be taken away from you. You are guided, you are protected, and you were chosen for a reason. So carry this peace with you. Let it guide your decisions. Let it strengthen your faith. Let it remind you that no matter what comes next, You are not walking alone. Type "I walk in divine peace" in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 9913 is now activated. And as this peace settles over your life, hear this call clearly. It is not just for you to receive, but for you to release into the lives of others. The light that reached you is meant to flow through you. The word is alive, declaring, "Give, and it shall be given unto you. Pressed down, shaken together, and running over." If your spirit feels this truth, say it now. I am a vessel for this divine work. When you sow through Super Thanks or give through PayPal, you are opening rivers that carry this message to souls still waiting in darkness. The link in the description and the QR code before you are not just options. They are your moment of obedience. As you give, may heaven respond over your life with increase, protection, and unexpected favor. Step into this act now. Release your seed and watch what returns multiplied.